And going to record any second now. It's giving me a little lag on my side.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
But it
I
looks
might
like
go
we're
away.
live. Yeah, we're live. Hey, just won't let me record. So there we go. Welcome back to Abundance Thursdays with myself, Walter Morello, and the great Vinney Smile Chopra. Vinney, good morning. How are you, brother?
Good morning, brother. It's such a beautiful morning. I can't tell you. It's 55 degrees outside here in the Bay Area, and it's lovely. It's just lovely. And it's going to be a miracle morning for everybody who's listening to us, and watching us, and they'll be watching later on too. Thank you, brother.
Awesome.
It's a pleasure.
So for everybody who's on the East Coast, Vinney is out in San Diego. So it is 8 o'clock in the morning. He's been up since I think 6 o'clock doing his miracle morning. And this is a part of his Thursday ritual now. He just hangs out with us, give us some great advice.
I love it. I totally look forward to it, Walter. I definitely want to say thank you to all our followers. And I hope you will put a reminder to join us, every Thursday at 8 a.m. We look forward to it over here, Pacific. And then also, 11 o'clock, right? Over there, East Coast, where you are in Florida, brother. Oh, yeah, I'm in San Francisco, near to San Francisco, in Danville, California. So look forward to seeing a lot of you over there at Walter's Summit, which is coming up in October. I can't wait.
So the 100 Millionaire Summit coming up October. Before we dive into it, Vinney, I want to talk about relationships again. We started off a little bit last week. We started like, how do you meet these people? How do you get the relationships going? And then this week's wealth principle 24 was stick-to-itiveness, the power of stick-to-itiveness. So like you and I were talking about a little while ago, like let's combine both topics together and say like long-term relationships, loyalty, discipline, stick-to-itiveness, commitment. Like how has that affected your business?
Oh my gosh, a whole lot. I think who I am today or my teams of people, it's because of the, making those relationships, because we get served very well if we serve others, and having that attitude in our forefront that we are here on this world to serve others, give positive energy, give them solutions to their problems. See, that's the thing. If we want to solve $100 problem, we will get $100. If we solve $1,000 problem, we'll get $1,000. If we, solve $1 million problem, then, we might get $1 million, right? So relationships are so important. Every walk of life, our family relationships, our business relationships, our, relationships with our team members, everything. So that's the backbone of any business growth.
Vinney, you just jumped on a subject that is, people don't understand this. People don't grasp that you make there's a lot of people out there saying, oh, you got to add value, you got to add value, you got to add value. But people don't understand what adding value is. And they don't understand the value of a transaction. So give me an example of what some of these dollar because most people aren't doing, $1 million value to people. They're doing sometimes in a lot of cases, their interactions are taking away from people and they're wondering why they're walking away with no money, right?
So true, Walter. My whole attitude changed 15 years back when I learned the power of persuasion and also serving people, because you cannot be a salesperson in your company. You have to be a server to the investors, to the brokers, to lenders, to attorneys. With that service-minded attitude, you are able to reach much, much farther. And the same thing is true with the investors, because you got to teach them what you're trying them to get involved in syndication, which is my world, as you know, or it could be any product. We want to give it to somebody or let them use it. We got to share what's in it for them, right? We talked about that. Benefits. We got to really tailor our benefits in such a way so that they can grasp it easily. Simple terms. The biggest problem I find is that we make our benefits so complicated that people don't understand it.
Yes. Most salespeople will talk about all the benefits, but they won't, like, the user or the person they're talking to doesn't understand how they're going to actually get the result. So in syndication, like, I know there's a lot of people who are like, well, you're getting an internal rate of return, and here's what the expenses are, and here's what the income is, and here's what the portfolio is, and here's what it looks like. And a lot of investors will just be sitting there like, but what do I get? Like, what, I just want to know, like, what my ROI is. Like, what am I getting here?
You're so right about it, Walter. I mean, many times we mesmerize. We have made the best of the best PowerPoint presentations, and then we clobber. See, not everybody, 100% of the population is not analytical. See, there are all four kinds of people: analytical and melancholy, and then, of course, status. I think there are different names for it. DISK, I remember, the profiles. But the thing is, and drivers, drivers want to know nitty gritty right away, or you lose them. You lose them for good, So we have to really put our benefits in a very simple sentence or bullet points so that we can cover with them. And nowadays, people don't have too much time. They don't. So when they give you FaceTime, we talked about that, FaceTime and the feed time. Remember, we got to make that first impression, get them to like us, sit down with us, and then we share in a short period of time our story. 100%. So relationships, as we started, Walter, are the backbone of every business. And when we understand that, we will do wonders. We'll do wonders, I mean, several things come to my mind with my investor base, from one investor to almost 535 investors now. Oh my gosh. And it has been because of the relationships, communication, trustworthiness, transparency, and of course, finding good deals for my investors, because they will only invest with me if the numbers are right, if I've done a good job in estimating very conservatively, what the 5-year may look like for the commercial asset, things like that, right?
It's interesting, Vinney, because again, you just mentioned 5 years. You weren't looking at, hey, you're going to make a quick turn, turn a quick buck, you're going to make some quick cash. You're talking about a long-term commitment, which means your relationship with this investor, you're sticking to it, right? Like Wealth Principle 24, you're going to be sticking to this person for a minimum of 5 years. That's the projection you're giving them.
I love it, what you just said. You are so right. It's not that one deal. It's not that one moment when they sign the contract, or PPM, we call it, right? Private Placement Memorandum, that our job is done. Not at all. That's when the job begins.
Just starts.
It starts right then, brother. Once they wire that 100,000, 500,000, and $1 million, that's when our job begins to satisfy and share with them quarterly what we are doing and what is happening to their money. That's so important, so very important, because they want to sleep good at nighttime, and we want to. And by having the transparency and the integrity to share in the quarterly meetings, like I discussed many times, it's so important to bring the asset to them. I was talking on an interview yesterday. Out of my 500 some investors, only nine have taken the flights to go meet me at the properties in Texas and Georgia and Florida.
Vinney, well, you must have said there was food during that time, huh? Give me free food.
You bet. No, I love to. I'm a big I like to break the bread, I say, with my teams, with my, we have done crawfish boils, over there in Texas with all my team, their families. I invite all. We had 143 team members actually, at the peak when we were managing all our assets. So I love the food, the party, eating together, breaking the bread to make them feel special. See, that's all it is. Our relationships are tremendous just because who we are. You just reminded me something. Oh my gosh. Our two brokers, had given me great deals in Houston. So I took them to Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith steaks over there are, I think, $150 per person. And, I paid the bill. I said, they said, Vinney, we sold the things to you. I said, that doesn't matter. I want to really thank you for giving me this off-market deals. And lo and behold, I got 11 assets around Houston when I bought, one after the other, one after the other, one after. So if you make relationships strong with people, they will adhere, they will remember you much better than the other people and the crowd. I really say that, and the Austin deal, my friend Mike, I called him and he says, Vinney, I sold you that property 9 years back. I said, oh my God, Michael, you're right, brother. I said, I sold that already, but I'm back with more money. As the say, so the relationships are so important. You cannot stress enough. Our whole life is based on relationships we make. And then endurance, like you said, stickability, right? Let's talk about that too, right?
Sticking to it. So when times get tough, when you're investing and you're doing your deals and you're raising capital and you're taking other people's money, I think it's very easy to kind of just have a person as a spreadsheet. They're a name on a spreadsheet, and they're putting out there. You've been, you've had their money for a year now or 2 years now. How do you what are some of the things you do to maintain those relationships? Because I know you're a long-term thinker like myself. You're not thinking, okay, like this one deal is the only deal I'm doing with this person. I'm going to be giving their money back to them in 5 years, but maybe they've been making money during this time. Maybe they want more passive income. What do you do to reactivate those relationships that you're already doing something with, so you don't ever take them for granted?
Thank you for asking that, Walter. I have always looked at an investor, a broker, a lender, anybody, right? It's not that just one deal we are going after. We are going after many, many, many deals in the back. So if an investor is standing there, I feel like that person might give me 50,000 or 100, but maybe he's capable of giving a million or 2 million. My number one investor gave me about 5 million. What?
Yeah.
But he started with 50,000. But the more he was able to see the transparency and integrity and everything, he kept on opening the wallet. And he said, put 200, 300, put this, in so many of my deals. Now, not only that, Walter, he said, Vinney, would you like to come and have a coffee with my buddies? They've been asking me, where do I invest? And I was in shorts, I remember, and I went there, had a coffee with them for 40 minutes, total 29 million.
Yeah.
Wow. Came from that whole circle. So relationships should be long-term. We should always go with the attitude of serving not just one person, but their friends, their family, their brothers, sisters. That's how my business has grown. I mean, it's been, just the miracle that a lot of people telling more people in their families and they're getting to me, But again, endurance. I think it's so important that we really have that quality of stickability. We want to make sure we take care of our customers today, or investors or brokers or anybody, lenders, like I said, or attorneys. I have 5 attorneys, right, in my team. Yeah, but the key thing is you got to make sure that you have the right intentions.
I love it.
You got to have the right intentions, because people see through the glass very quickly. They will either like you or hate you or don't want to do business with you. But if you want them to do business with you, appreciate them. Appreciate. And I just sent an email, to my very good friend and Milton Colgrove. I want to say Mr. Milton Colgrove, my real estate attorney for 15 years. 15 years.
Long-term relationship.
Long-term, brother. And you know what? He has looked at the contracts, the PSAs, the LOIs, matching up, the due diligence, the surveys, you name it. All my 39 syndications, I've done now, he has been the father on the top. Even though I got attorneys in Georgia and Florida and other places, I remember I always had him look over as my main confidant and counsel to give me the advice. And I signed everything without reading because I trusted him and he trusted me. And I just got accreditation letter of my all the retirement and this and that just yesterday. So I just thought I'll say that relationships are so important, so important. And I remember the time. I don't know if anybody's watching right now or listening to us. I remember 14 years back, he sent me a bill, invoice for 3,009 something, 950, let's say, right? I crossed it off and put 8,000 on it. And I sent him, I said, Milton, you put so much efforts into this transaction. Why are you charging me less? That was our beginning, brother, because I appreciated his time and energy and who he is. And he couldn't believe. He says, Vinney, you are different, brother. Oh my gosh, people are always trying to reduce my fee and you doubled my fee. I mean, that just sent a message across. That's 15 years back, bro. 15 years back. I remember a broker. You were talking about relationships, right? I'm talking about, my very good friend, Brandon. I did how many lenders from LMI Capital? I don't know if he's still with them, but Brandon, oh my God, Brandon Brown, he sent me a letter of, Vinney has been approved for this deal kind of letter, right?
LOI,
LOI, and I attached it, right? And then I was talking to the Fannie Mae people. I was in Bethesda, Maryland. They invited me to their office and they said, Vinney, you don't have to go through a broker. We'll do all the work for you. You don't have to just come here and sign at 3 places. We'll do the whole loan without any fee. But then I told Brandon, brother, you gave me that letter, that what sellers saw, and they accepted my offer because of that. That was near NASA. I remember the property was near NASA in Houston. I said, I'm going to pay you 0.25% of the purchase, whatever loan as the, fee, even though you will not be involved in the deal. What?
I love it.
He says, Vinney, what are you talking about? I said, yes, brother, you got me this deal. Because if your letter had not gone to the seller, I wouldn't have gotten this deal. So as a respect to your time and energy, he says, it's a framed up, templated letter, Vinney. I mean, I just put your name into it and that's it. You know what? That letter, I paid him $9,200 or something like that, 14,000. I don't know how much it was, but he remembered that. That relationship got me so many loans. I'm telling you, brother, everybody listening to me and you, the thing is relationships. You cannot go wrong. Because you got to really appreciate everybody and what they are doing for us. They will open up. Now he gave me, I didn't even meet with anybody in the Houston market. He got 10 banks to give me loan at 80% without even meeting me. He just had my story ready. And then he was meeting with people. He will meet me for about half an hour and metrics. He'll put every bank's, terms and limits and all conditions. Then he'll recommend, Vinney, looks like these 3 are in the top. What do you think about it? So it cut down my time in loan qualification. So relationships are so important. Let's talk about, family relationships. I've been married 42 years.
42.
Yeah, brother. Yeah. Going on 43 next year. But, that's what it's all about. Stickability. It's the attitude. It's something we all can learn, by the way. If
it's
some
learnable.
of us are watching, it's learnable. It's just totally learnable. It's because when you stick to something, a cause, and the results are going to be tremendous, we need to stick to it. We need to endure. We need to make sure no matter what mountains come or rivers come on the way, that we figure out way to go around, above or below or side. I always say that, I mean, we come with lots and lots of troubles in life. We come with lots of different ups and downs in life. The successful people endure. They persevere. They
Yeah.
persevere because that's the only way to win in life, is to persevere. Be consistent in your whole approach. And once you make a decision that this is important, this is very, very, very important to me, for my family, for my life, for my company, you set your mind to it, then stickability and perseverance is the only way to reach those goals.
So for everybody who's listening right now, and Vinney, I got to jump off. I got an event I'm doing in Tampa today called Think Realty. So for everybody who's listening right now, what Vinney just said is relationships are everything. I know you've heard that before, and I know you've ignored it before. But what Vinney is telling you right now, what I'm telling you right now, is that if you look around, there is a recession, absolutely. But there's certain people who are in this right now, who are saying, man, I've got money to invest. I've got great deals that I'm running. There are opportunities cracking open all over the place. And if you hang out with those people, the people who see opportunity, who are looking to do better and continue to grow and take ground during this recession, you're going to do amazing. We're doing a recession-proof challenge the next 30 days, starting August 1st. So you can get into it now. The recession-proof challenge is based on getting 100 relationships over the next 30 days. So we're going to be taking on 4 people per day into our database and aiming to get somewhere close to what Vinney's accomplished, where he's got he's got 500 relationships that he knows at any point. They know him. So if he sends them an email, they know who he is. It's not about who you know. It's about who knows you and what they think about you and how they have felt about you and what kind of respect they have or admiration and whether they trust you or not. Like that is what we're talking about. Me and Vinney have been really going deep into this. And I got to thank you, Vinney, so much for all of the value you've been delivering these past, you've been doing it for weeks now, but these past 2 weeks talking about relationships, like just so much value. So we got about 2 minutes left. What do you want to say to everybody who is listening right now, who may be on the fence about whether they want to get into syndication or whether they trust people and they really want to be like a decent human being, go and get a bunch of relationships? What advice would you give somebody right now who's not sure about?
Walter, if I may tell everybody, I am so excited. What happened in 2008 and 9, it was different parameters, but it was like a buyer's market. A lot of millionaires got made in that market. That's what it's coming right now. It's going from a seller's market for last 4 or 5 years or whatever to a buyer's market with the interest rates going up. A lot more foreclosures will be coming. Who will be there to grab them? Only those people who are joining like-minded people right here with Walter and I, and take that challenge, because that's what it's all about. You could be staying on the sideline and it's going to pass by you, but take that decision, make that decision. It's what you do with the time. It's so important. What you learn, the skills and the kind of people you are hanging around is going to take you to the next level. And this is going to be million makers time for the next 6 months to 18 months, I say. All the studies prove that, recession is there. I'm everything, but a lot of people will be in trouble who took bridge loans and they're coming due. And the bridge loan people don't want them to, get, refinance them or something. So there will be opportunities coming. So Walter, you're doing the best thing, brother, with this challenge. I love it. I'd love to join in whenever you want me to chime in. Appreciate you, bro.
You better believe it, Vinney. I've already been thinking about pulling you into a couple of the days in it. So I appreciate you, man. So 30-day challenge, go to challenge.alchemiststation.com. We're going to help you get recession proof over the next 30 days so that you can surround yourself with millionaires and future millionaires. Because like Vinney mentioned, one of his first investors only invested like 120 something thousand with him, but now has 5 million with him 14 years later. So it's all about helping those people who you see might be on the path to becoming millionaires and multimillionaires. You want to help them when they're small so that when they're big, they know who you are, they still owe you a favor, and they like, know, and trust you. Because once they're at that size, unless you're following with them and growing with them, you're not gonna have a way to get access to them. So you got to start small. But then again, you could always jump ahead to someone and just do it in this challenge with us. Cheers to your success, Dream of Choice. Always hang out with us on Thursday Abundance. I'll see you on the next one.
See you next time.
Thank you, Vinney. I appreciate you, brother.
Oh, you bro.